this will be the last weekly blog I do in the Markenfield Move Blackout. And we are at the end now of our 2 weeks back at work following the move itself. And as of next week and the week after, those 2 weeks I'm on holiday to celebrate my 30th birthday. This week did not go without a few issues. I'll start with the good news. The good news is the Aviary has been done. We had arranged this over the week I was off to actually move. We weren't quite quick enough to do it last week, but the guy came and he said basically what happened was my nan was project managing this and I was very, very busy with the move. So she was with her new computer looking up things on the internet to do with Aviaries, and she knew a friend from the blind centre. She's partially sighted, and so she sort of goes there and she knows quite a lot of the people there. And one of the ladies there had a friend, a next door neighbour whose husband had an Aviary, and he knew the carpenter who built it. So when I was off, on my week off, the neighbour and the neighbour's husband, who actually have the Aviary, came round to have a look at my my spot and to give their advice. Now, they were a little bit like, we're not going to give you the information for the carpenter until we've had a look at what you think you're going to do, which I thought was a bit weird, because, you know, usually it's like, well, you know, if you have contact details, can you not just give me the details and I can get things done? But they wouldn't give me the details until they'd seen the place. So I invited them round and they had a look, and obviously they thought it was alright, so eventually they gave us the details. But it meant that we couldn't get it done when I was on holiday, and we couldn't get it done the week after. So the week after, which was last week, we finally got round to getting it done. So the birds have been under the stairs for 2 weeks. He was very, very quick. In one way, he was absolutely fantastic, because he built it in 3 days, and it's absolutely fantastic. It really is, and it wasn't really out of our price range at all. In another way, there were difficulties. I found difficulties. The big difficulty I found was communication. I think because the guy works, you know, just moves from one job to the other, getting information, you know, sort of phone calling him and stuff can be a little bit difficult, because you tend to find there's a day or two before you get a response. And of course, remember, I didn't have a phone, I didn't have the internet either, so I couldn't, you know, it was a bit frustrating, and half of that was just my fault, but it did slow the process down. I also found it strange a little bit, because the Tuesday and Wednesday, obviously, I was at work, so he came after I had gone, and he went before I came home, so I never really saw him. He did work all the way through the rain and everything on the Monday, and I think on the Wednesday he might have been delayed slightly, because next door, who had been trying to sort out this fence, which they suppose is theirs, I don't know if it's theirs or not, but I was going to offer to replace it, because it's pretty shite. But I spoke to the woman who is renting next door out, and she'd already arranged for somebody to do it, except they couldn't do it because of the snow a couple of weeks ago. So I think you find at one point in time, maybe on the Wednesday, the whole of that backyard on both houses was just a work site. But yeah, so that's done, and I put the birds in on Saturday, and all is going well so far. There are teething problems, like for example, there's no heating out there, and it would happen to be a cold snap when I put them out, wouldn't it? There's no lighting's not quite as easy as I thought it would be to get out there, but these are things that we can work on, and not really problems with the design at all. That was never part of that was never anything that that the builder was going to do. So that's not an issue really. The problem this week has been British Gas. I submitted my last meter reading, and I had worked out that I was about £200 in credit. So you can imagine my horror when halfway through the week I got a bill for £600, and this £600 was going to come out via the direct debit link that I had with them. This was on the Wednesday, so I took the bill actually into work because I was very upset about it. Obviously I can't phone British Gas from here because there was no phone line. So I had to wait until the day after and phone them at lunch on the Thursday, and they wrote off the bill, which was fantastic, and they said, you know, we will get this, because what had happened was they'd got both meters from flat 1 and flat 2 on my bill, so I was paying for the guy downstairs, that idiot, and his gas bill was phenomenal. Like, it was stupid phenomenal. Okay, he'd used something like 300 imperial units of gas in 24 days. How do you do that? How do you do that? I don't think you can do that if you leave all the gas fires on all the time. He must have, well, maybe he's growing drugs or something like that, I don't know. He's certainly not smoking them, because I haven't come out in hives. But he may well be growing them. He may well be doing something, because that is a hell of a lot of gas to be using in that short amount, you know. Or maybe the meter is not working or something like that. Anyway, British Gas are going to get rid of that meter, and they said, you know, that they would phone me back within 48 hours. But they never did. So I phoned them again, and they said, oh yes, no, the bill has been cancelled. The bill has been cancelled, and you're due to get a phone call next Tuesday. Well, Tuesday is the day that the direct debit for the £600 could go out. So I said, look, because I can't trust your company now, I am cutting the direct debit, and I've done so today. So now, and I don't know if I'll get a phone call tomorrow or not, but the point is that they cannot now take the money without me actually paying it, and I don't care really what they say. I have the bills going all the way back to when I first moved in, and the 2 meters, I mean, there's meter numbers, and there's, do you know what I mean? It's so obviously a mistake that I don't think I can possibly get into trouble for it, because I think if they did try legal action of any kind, I've got it written down, which meter's mine, which meter's the other guy's, and you can read it from the bill, or bills. So there we are. That is my that's my blog for this week.